Hey Universe, it's Joe.
Hi, it's John Tantillo.
Hey, it's Tommy.
Hey, it's Taryn. The stage is set.
The matches have been made.
All that's left to do is pick the winners.
Friend versus friend.
Host versus host.
But in the end, there can only be one.
There can only be one.
There can only be one.
There can only be one TMIB World champion.
And it will be
Me.
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 And it will be me.
What's up, Tag Me in Bro Universe? Happy weekend. I hope everyone is enjoying their time off and is so ready for Hell in a Cell. Welcome to our prediction series where I, Taryn, am challenging our current reigning, defending Tag Me in Bro champion, Tommy Rowe.
Two-time
Champion for the Tag Me in Bro Championship.
It's too bad that we don't have videos yet, or else you would see the beautiful belt I wear around all day. But because we're a podcast, you just can't.
But if we hit 10,000 followers on Twitter, maybe you'll be able to get that belt on a t-shirt for yourselves.
Oh,
Ooh, gotta get that plug in there. So follow us at Tag Me in Bro on Twitter. And without any further ado, we will kick off our Hell in a Cell predictions. So as the challenger, I will go first. We'll start with the exhibition matches and then rock on through to the championships. Okay, so starting with the exhibition match of Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. Wow, I'm so used to saying who do you got and why? But for myself, I'm taking Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is my pick because it is the first time that they've had Jeff Hardy in a Hell in a Cell match. I think they've showed Randy as being increasingly dominant on SmackDown Live, and I just think that this is a good opportunity for Jeff. I think that, I know in the Go Home episode he was standing tall with his match against Shinsuke Nakamura, but I still kind of think that they've put him in a place where it is very Team Extreme, and it is a place where someone like Jeff Hardy, especially in this new character, can thrive. So I think that we'll be seeing Jeff Hardy. Who do you got and why, Tommy?
I got Randy. This heel turn has not really made a lot of matches happen. It's just kind of been, hey, Randy Orton's a dick now. I think it would be not great for this new attitude were he to lose his first big match. This feud has been going for a while. I think that's the way it should go. Randy wins, in my mind.
There we go. All right, already off to clashing opinions in a contest. Okay, so moving on to our next exhibition match, which is a little more fun. It's a mixed tag match. It is Team Yes Mode, the Danielsons, Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan. That's what's on their t-shirts.
Oh.
Versus Miz and Maurice, or just Miz and Mrs., as the TV show would have us know. I've got my money on Brie and Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
Who do you have?
Yeah, me too.
You also did see?
Yeah.
Oh, so why'd you sound so surprised?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think, for me at least, that if I had to pick, I think that honestly, that they'll win and that The Miz will try to discount the win in some way by saying, Daniel Bryan could only win because of his wife and, with his wife by his side.
It writes itself.
Yeah, so I think the feud will continue after that, but I think that little adage of having their wives in the situation is both a great build for potentially keeping their feud onto Evolution, but also gives Bryan the win without it feeling stale or repetitive or without the feud having to end.
Yeah, 50-50 booking is the name of the game for a long-term feud like this, and it's really easy to just keep it going. Miz will blame it on the fact that Daniel hides behind his wife, as he's already said on SmackDown a couple of times since this feud started. No-brainer to me. Brie and Bryan.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so now moving on to the tag titles. For the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships, we have The New Day versus Rusev Day. I've got The New Day.
I also have The New Day, yeah.
Wow, a moment of harmony in this battle. So
Rusev Day just isn't over enough.
I just think that, if I'm being honest, it doesn't make sense because the New Day literally just won back
Yeah.
the belts. Also, which I know is like a bit of a spoiler, and I hate to include things like this, but they're already advertising for the Super Showdown that the Bar are going to be challenging the New Day. That's like an advertisement
I didn't know
they've tweeted it. It's been online. And I feel like that can't happen if the New Day aren't the champions. And yes, that does absolutely exclude the possibility that Rusev Day wins for the big pop and then they lose the belts on Tuesday. I just don't personally see that happening.
I don't either. I think for me, if I hadn't heard about the Super Showdown thing, but in terms of how the tag title scene would look, I feel like New Day would stand tall, and then the Bludgeon Brothers will come in at the end and beat them to shit. That felt to me like the most likely, but maybe it'll just be the Bar. But yeah, New Day, it would be too short otherwise, and Rusev Day still has legs on their kind of breakup angle with Aiden English.
That's a really good point.
I see that working. So yeah,
I think you're totally right that if the New Day wins, we will see a little more of that development with the Rusev Day
happened
breakup
last
angle.
time when Rusev challenged for the WWE Championship, so it makes sense.
Totally. All right, and next up, on to the next set of tag matches. We have the Raw Tag Team Championships. We have Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are returning 2/3 of the Shield versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, the current champions. I've got Ziggler and McIntyre.
I also have Ziggler and McIntyre.
Ooh. I'll at least start by saying that in my mind, the reason that I've got Ziggler and McIntyre is, again, it would be a precariously short reign, in my opinion. And B, and it does spoil a little bit of my predictions for later in the night, I think that in these two small stables of, like, the Shield versus Braun Strowman and Ziggler-Tyre, that I think one whole group is leaving with the belts after Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And people may disagree with me. That's totally fine. In my personal opinion, I think that's the way it's going to go forward. And I think if, and I do mean if they are booking the Shield as baby faces, that they will have to work together. So I think that the bad guys have to be the champions. Like, I buy that kind of old school booking technique. So that's what I've got.
Yeah, that's fair. I picked Ziggler and McIntyre for a different reason, but that is interesting to me. I'm of the mindset, same time we were talking about the last NXT TakeOver, Adam Cole can lose, but the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, and whoever he's working with at that moment, this last time it happened to be Roderick Strong, they need to hold on to the belts to give them legitimacy, but I do understand that in the sense that McIntyre, Ziggler, and Strowman are a kind of cobbled together stable that exists right now. So, I see it. That spoils my pick for the end of the night also. But, Ziggler and McIntyre, in my mind, are holding on to him, at least for the time being. Also, I mean, Seth already has a belt.
Seth does already have a... To be fair, if anyone in that company, I would be happy to see carry around 2 championships. It is Seth Rollins.
The last time he did it in 2015, it was dope. But at the same time, like, come on.
I just don't think I don't think it makes sense for right now. And I don't think my other option for it, just in a very quick moment, is in my mind, the only other option is like to use the loss as an opportunity to start to split up McIntyre and Ziggler. And I just don't think they're there yet.
No, I don't think so.
And so if they're not ready for the split, then I think they have to stay the champions.
Yeah, and it's undecided as who. Yeah, it's too early for a number of reasons, but the most fundamental is who are you rooting for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right, moving on to the women's championships. I feel like we're getting through this quick because I do feel like this is a short card.
Yeah, it's 8 matches. It's tight.
Yeah, it is like it's a B pay-per-view, but it feels almost weird. Like I feel like this is the first time we are seeing that kind of B pay-per-view treatment since the brand reunion. Yeah. Really interesting. That was our quick tangential break. So for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, we've got Becky Lynch versus champion Charlotte Flair. And at least I have Charlotte Flair retaining. Who do you have?
I have Becky.
A title change.
Yeah,
why do you have Becky?
So I have Becky mostly because it doesn't feel right to keep it on Charlotte longer term. It just doesn't. It has felt like a theft since her return at SummerSlam. I think Becky Lynch as a heel, obviously Tuesday night made it very clear that that's what they're going for, with like a very cowardly attack. So if you want to cement her as a heel and cement Charlotte as the babyface, which was in jeopardy, certainly on the last couple weeks, because Charlotte was getting booed big time. But if you want to cement her, have her fight for the championship. Have her lose it in a really nefarious way, like have Becky cheat to win, and that will hurt on so many different levels everyone who's supported her for the last 2 years. And I think that's great booking, because you hate Becky Lynch because she's cheated to win, because for so long you've thought she could do it without doing that. I think it's the right time, and in my booking of this show, there's not enough title changes if that doesn't happen. So, yeah.
So there's sometimes that's simple. I've got Charlotte, and I think the reason I have Charlotte retaining is very similar to the New Day on some level, which is like too strong of a company personality to have such a short title reign.
Yeah, fair.
And I totally agree with you. This title reign has honestly felt like a theft from the beginning, but I think that they still have like miles to go before they sleep with this Becky Lynch transformation.
Yeah.
And in that process, I think that they're gonna keep the belt on Charlotte until they are sure that like their decision is going to get exactly the reaction they want, exactly when they want it.
That's totally
And
fair.
I think that currently, like, it is pretty volatile.
Yeah, it's
like,
super unclear.
Charlotte's getting booed, but Becky was getting booed when she attacked her from the behind. But there were also thank you, Becky chants. Like, it's not something that, at least if I were on their creative team, I would feel comfortable putting in like a network pay-per-view setting. Because I think that moments like that, where the audience is not on side and it's not a whole fandom against one thing like Roman, that like that's because your writing was kind of unclear. That's because you didn't quite get it. You didn't grasp it.
Well,
and I
they
think
didn't understand Becky's character, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that there's also bigger opportunities for Becky if she's going to become the champion.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to that tangential moment of this is kind of a B pay-per-view. She has waited 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we'll see it at Evolution.
Yeah,
I think we could see Becky win it there because Becky is. She's still one of the 4 horsewomen, so she is a character of moments. And on some level, I hate that because Becky Lynch does wrestle week to week and should be wrestling week to week. Like, we should never, on some level, you should be able to say, like, remember that great Becky Lynch match? And be like, which one? She's been on air every single week for 6 weeks. She's not like that right now, and that is unfortunate, but I don't think that they will degrade the value that they have placed on her as one of the 4 horsewomen, or her as a wrestler. So I think if she's going to get that championship, it's going to be in a big moment.
Yeah, fair.
So I would see it at Survivor Series or at Evolution. I apologize, but I
fair.
don't think we'll see it at Hell in a Cell, especially because the match isn't in a cell.
Yeah, it's very reasonable.
So that's my thoughts. And then moving forward, do you want to announce the Raw Women's one? Sorry,
yes.
I've been chatting a
The
lot.
Raw Women's Championship. Bliss versus Rousey. Rousey is the champion. Taryn, who do you have? And why do you have her? Spoiler alert, it's going to be a woman holding this title by the end of the match.
You don't know what I'm about to say.
Oh, boy, the Great Khali.
Always the Great Khali with
Always the Great Khali.
you. I've got Ronda Rousey.
I also have Ronda Rousey.
I don't even think there's much to say. This is a contractually obligated match.
Yeah.
It is Alexa Bliss's rematch.
This is a classic B pay-per-view blow-off match. They announced it the Monday after the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's been in the books. Bliss has another match, and as much as I would love to see Trish Stratus go for the Raw Women's Championship,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck else is Ronda Rousey gonna do if she's not fighting for the championship against who? Nia Jax, wherever the fuck she's been.
I know.
I honestly don't know who she fights, but she's going to be fighting them at Evolution, and it will be for the championship because she's going to win this match. She's still green, but she's still powerful, and she's a great character as they booked her. For her to lose it this early doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I just think that, like, my shtick with, like, Ronda, at least until this point, is who is better than her?
No one.
No one. No one that we've built, at least until this point.
Definitely not.
So
Unless it's like Natalya turning on her, and there's no way that she's going to be like, yeah, now that I finally am over as a babyface because everyone knows my dad passed away.
But also like, we've seen Natty as the heel before. It sucks. The people aren't with it. She doesn't do it while she's a babyface. Like, so Natalya is so naturally a babyface.
Yeah.
Why do
she's
it?
so naturally like
there. I know.
Yeah.
But like, also, we have so many people in the works and in the cards.
Yeah.
Like, wait, let's build an Ember Moon. Let's bring up a Nikki Cross. Let's bring up an Asuka who doesn't need a reason to kick your ass. Like,
absolutely.
Those are like, and Charlotte Flair is obviously always mentioned as a contender for like that Rousey match.
Definitely.
Like, there's no point. And like, Alexa Bliss is a great competitor. I am not saying that she isn't. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense right now.
And she also has another match in 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. But in addition to that, just I think in a more wide spectrum basis.
Yeah.
Like, does Alexa need help getting over? Absolutely not. Does Alexa need, like, legitimacy backing her?
No.
Absolutely not. She doesn't need to be in the
She's
title
gotten
picture
it
to
for
be
herself.
a draw.
Yeah.
So, like, it's Ronda's belt.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
WWE Championship. Hopefully the main event won't be. That's fine. Samoa Joe versus the champion AJ Styles. Taryn, who do you have, and why do you have him?
Him.
Him.
Oh, Wendy.
Oh.
So much fun. I've got AJ Styles.
Interesting.
I know. This to me is a very 50-50, and I say it's a 50-50. I think that's even controversial. I think a lot of people think it's just going to, not like just, but like that it will be Samoa Joe.
And I count myself in that number.
Yeah, but I think that, honestly, the thing that drove it for me is that this match isn't in a cell.
Yeah. So.
And I think that where Samoa Joe wins this match is in that ruthlessness and is in that cell moment. And the second that they decided it wasn't going to be a Hell in the Cell match, I was like, they're keeping the belt on AJ. We're not going to see that change. Because I think that if you were going to do it for Samoa Joe, that is the perfect stipulation to put on him. And I think if not, I think we're going to see AJ carry this thing through. I'm not necessarily sure that this feud with Samoa Joe will end. I don't know that AJ will just win clean. I don't know that he won't win somehow by DQ, or that there will be, he'll lose by DQ but keep the belt. Even though we've already seen that once, and I'd be frustrated to see it again because I thought the first time they did it was unexpected and great.
Yeah.
But I don't think AJ Styles, the longest reigning champion in 5 years, loses the belt at Hell in a Cell. Does he lose it to Samoa Joe?
Almost
very possibly.
Certainly,
Almost absolutely. Yeah. I don't think he loses it on Sunday.
That's fair. I mean, I totally get that perspective. I just do think that this is the most legitimate contender to the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I would like to be in a universe in which The Miz beats Daniel Bryan, and then they move on to, like, he moves to the main event, and he wins, and then Bryan and Miz end up with their feud about the WWE Championship. Like, that would be sick. I would love that. But they don't need it, and the writing team is smart enough to understand that. Whether they will do that in the spring or late winter with the Royal Rumble or something like that, like, they very well might, but that would be great. What I'm saying here is I just think Samoa Joe is the most legit contender. And if he doesn't take it here, they'll have a rematch at Super Showdown, and then AJ should head on his way. And for those of you who listen to our SmackDown episode this week, you know that I talked a lot about where AJ Styles could head afterward. So it would also feel just generally disingenuous for me to not say that AJ Styles is going to lose the championship at Hell in a Cell. You make very salient points, though.
Thank you. We all just know that I am the number one AJ Styles fan, arguably on the planet. So I will never not choose him
Definitely.
to retain his championship. But I also think that you're, like, if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Samoa Joe.
Oh, definitely.
So I hope they're not afraid to pull the trigger. I just also kind of hope maybe they are. All right. And moving on to the last match of our card. And as we said previously, hopefully not the last match of the night.
But it will be.
Spoiler alert. It with entire certainty is.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Champ goes first this time, because sometimes they fuck it up too.
Shit, okay.
Who do you have, Tommy?
I have Roman Reigns.
Ah.
It has been, he's defended this title at none pay-per-views so far. We have waited a year and a half for him to get this title, for him to drop it so quickly, feels like not the best way to go if they are still trying to get him over as a face, which is evidently exactly what they're trying to do. If they were trying to do something else, sure, but in this case, I don't see it happening.
I totally understand that. And I think that...
Oh, you say you understand. That means that you have a different explanation, and also because you said earlier that you had one, because I remember.
Thank you for listening.
You're so welcome.
Oh my gosh. But yes, 100%. So
I'm a great listener.
I'm so glad. I have Braun Strowman. I've got Braun Strowman because kind of the way that you had with Smojo, like, if not now, when? If not now, then never. This is his Money in the Bank cash-in. Like,
true.
If not now, when?
The next
I say, like,
pay-per-view.
shrieking into the microphone. But, like, I just think that this is a Hell in a Cell match, A.
Yeah.
This is the perfect Monster Among Men opportunity. Yes, for all of you out there who are going to be like, but Roman beat the Accolade with a chain, so how could, like, what does Braun Strowman have on this? I don't care.
What a callback, also.
It's the number one thing that stares me in the face. Like, when I was making this decision, I was like, what possible scenario could Roman come out of this as the winner? And I was like, you know what? It makes sense to me. Like, it makes sense to me that they put him in that situation with Rusev, where the only other person who's ever been through the Accolade with, like, the chain in your mouth is John Cena.
Yeah.
So I get it. In that vein, like, they've made him as strong as they could possibly frickin' make him. I think it's Braun Strowman. Like, I think Braun Strowman could turn over the frickin' cell at this point. Like, I think we've booked him that strongly.
They have.
And I think that, again, this is his cash-in. We only get 2 cash-ins a year. Alexa's already used hers and done so successfully. Like, they did not have a successful cash-in with the men's last year. I think that they very well may have one this year. I think that it's Braun Strowman's time. I think that people are for him as a heel. I know that people aren't for him as a heel in terms of, like, I accept that he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But people are for him in terms of, like, a heel turn normally means, like, we're on the premise of something.
Yeah.
And, like, if that heel turn means we're sitting on the precipice of a championship, then, like, let's do it. Let's go for it.
I would love to see it.
And again, for me, that would culminate my booking of this as Strowman, Ziggler, and McIntyre.
Anti-Shield, all holding
leaving.
belts.
All with belts. Like, how freaking powerful does that make them going into something like Survivor Series, where most likely, on some level, they'll have to work on the same team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally see that, and that's probably great booking going into it. You have this rift within 2 very important groups of 3 on Monday Night Raw, and then everyone else does the Survivor Series match, whatever. No, it's I think probably the most interesting way to book it. I just been watching wrestling for a while now. The best thing hardly ever happens. I would like it to happen. I would like Braun Strowman to win, but I also want to hold my belt. So that's why I picked Roman.
No, I understand. I also think that if Roman wins, I think there's a super chance that if it goes against both of our opinions and the Shield win, that they come down as, like, newly minted champions.
Yeah, and that would be...
in some respect.
Yeah, they could waltz into some cricket ground in Australia being like, we have 4 belts between the 3 of us.
God, what a sad moment that would be.
Yeah.
4 belts on 3 wrestlers.
That's crazy.
That's
and
insane.
Like, obviously, the most deserving of the 3 of them has 2 of them. But at the same time, like, when's the last time we had a group of people who were all just holding belts? It's the Undisputed Era, and they're sick, and they are heels.
Yeah.
You want them to lose them, even though you really don't. But you want them to lose them. If the Shield has 4 belts between them, you literally have to have 3 matches to get them off.
Yeah.
Like, what is Seth just gonna give up the belt? I just don't. I don't see it happening. But I like where your head's at.
Yeah. Hey, maybe if they end up with 4, maybe we discuss it on the show next week.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe Joe or John.
Yeah.
Will on Monday.
Seriously, why is he doing that? Why is he giving up the show?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, and this is a fun bit of our wrap-up, our predictions are done. Please follow us on Twitter.
Yes,
Tag me and
follow
Bro.
us on Twitter.
But mostly, the crux of what is happening at Tag Me In Bro right now is that if any of you know John, who for a while was introducing himself as it's JJT, he used to be one of our co-hosts for our Monday night show with our friend Joe. He unceremoniously exited the group. He's been a bit of a prick on our social media, trying to hack into our social media. Yeah. And Joe is so fed up with it that they challenged each other for control of our Monday.
No. More importantly, Joe said to John, if you will stop doing this, go up against me in a predictions match, and I will give you Raw. Just to convince him to do it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So please stay tuned for us on Twitter, and please pray for Joe, because we really need control of our Raw podcast.
But also, SmackDown is safe.
SmackDown is safe with Tommy and Taryn
yes.
on Tuesdays.
We still like each other.
For now.
Whoa.
Ooh.
No,
we're good. We're good. So
as always, you can follow us on Twitter at TagMeInBro. We will be live tweeting Sunday's pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, as we always do, and we'll be hoping that someone we actually understand
and
controls Monday nights, and we will see you on Tuesday. We will see you on Tuesday. Well, no, we don't see you. You'll hear us.
Closer to Wednesday.
Yeah, closer to Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. That was incredible. But moving on, stick with us on Sunday at Tag Me In Bro. Goodbye, universe.